As a parent, I understand and know there's a lot of anxiety at the moment amongst parents and kids in Australia about whether or not we should be closing our schools to help stop the spread of the coronavirus. It's a fair question. It's one Jen and I have asked ourselves as well, and it seems on the surface a logical thing to do. But one of the things we've done as we've sought to manage the impacts of the coronavirus is we've relied heavily on the expert advice of our medical experts, the chief medical officers of all the states and territories and the Commonwealth, and they're all united on this at the moment, and that is that closing schools at this time could potentially worsen the situation. And you know, when you have that information at the moment, we have to be cautious. There are many things we don't know about this virus. And when we have advice that it means it could make things worse, then of course we have to be careful. Now that doesn't mean that at some stage in the future, in coming weeks, that schools may be closed. I suspect that could happen. But right now, the medical expert advice is that such a move would be premature and could be very detrimental to our fight against the virus at this time. Closing all schools means hundreds of thousands of parents being at home instead of working in hospitals and supermarkets or many of the other essential services areas. Now that includes doctors and nurses and health officials. These are the very people that we need working in their fields right now, responding to this health crisis. It could put additional stress on a system that will face many challenges in the weeks and months ahead. Remember, it's our plan to slow down the spread of this virus. That's how we can save lives. So we need to ensure that our health system in particular is not stretched to the limits and beyond its capacity so it can take care of our most vulnerable Australians. Closing all schools at this time also means elderly grandparents might have to mind the kids, the very people who are most susceptible to the serious illnesses from this virus. So therefore we have to ensure that our most vulnerable to a serious illness from the virus are protected. And as the states have already shown, swift arrangements are in place for those schools where there has been outbreaks and they have responded in those cases. That's very sensible, and that action is being taken. And already state education departments are putting in place arrangements to help kids and teachers practice what we call social distancing. Now that includes, wherever it's possible, that it not always is, keeping 1.5 metres away from each other, from kids and other people. No handshakes or hugs, increased hygiene, and particularly washing your hands, and no assemblies and mass gatherings of more than 500 people. And if the advice changes, and I'm sure as time progresses and events change, we will also change with those events, and we will move quickly, and we'll keep relying on the best possible information and ensuring that we keep you informed every step of the way. But at this stage, the advice is that at a general level, to keep those schools open. That is a decision taken not only by myself, but more importantly, all state premiers and chief ministers backed up by their medical officers. We're working on this together as a national cabinet, all the state leaders, the premiers and chief ministers, together with myself as Prime Minister, to ensure that we have the best coordinated response. If you have any questions about the coronavirus, the best place to find out more information is at health.gov.au. This virus, it could last for many months, 6 months, till the end of September, possibly longer. And we have a plan to roll out at every stage as this virus escalates. Now more than ever, Australians do need to pull together and support each other, taking care of each other. It will be a challenging time, but we will get through it and bounce back stronger on the other side. What we need to do is just keep listening to the advice, getting the best information, making good decisions. And so as we go into the weeks and months ahead, we all want to look after our kids. All of us parents understand that, and we'll be doing everything we can to put the safety of all Australians, including our kids first, and doing what's right for them and what's right for everybody around the country. Thanks for listening.
Authorised by S. Morrison, Liberal Party, Canberra.